Hi, my name is Jennifer Walsh, and this is my capstone project for English 458. My project is called Effects of Parenting in Sing and Bird Sing. Let's start with my research journey. After reading the novel, I brainstormed on what stuck out to me. I also pondered the class discussions. Once deciding on a topic, I started research. I used Google and research databases, scouring them for texts related to my topic. I looked up the title of the novel combined with keywords related to my topic. My research questions include, but are not limited to, what are other people saying about my topic and this novel in general? What are people saying about Jesmyn Ward? What are the gaps in knowledge and research? What is parentification? How is JoJo's life shaped by the people around him? Why is Leonie the way she is? And what is the significance of the names of the characters? Conclusion / my thesis is that my research combined with analysis of the novel proved that while parentification and trauma can destroy a child, JoJo handles himself very well and shows himself as a resilient, emotionally mature adult. What is parentification? It occurs when the parentified child has responsibilities placed on them that are inappropriate considered their age and abilities. These responsibilities can include practical duties such as paying bills or emotional support, such as acting as a confidant. It can also include taking care of the younger sibling, as we see in JoJo's case. This shows with JoJo as he takes care of Kayla. Negative effects that can happen when parentification occurs includes, but is not limited to, depression, anxiety, hyperactivity, disruptive or antisocial behavior, aggression, feelings of shame or isolation, substance abuse, eating disorders, dissociation, personality disorders. Positive effects are resiliency and competency. JoJo does not demonstrate many of the effects. He doesn't seem to be hyperactive or antisocial. He's not aggressive in any way. He doesn't seem to have feelings of shame or isolation, and he definitely doesn't have substance abuse or eating disorders. But he does prove himself to be a resilient and competent kid. He does a good job of taking care of Kayla. He is who she relies on and reaches for when she is tired or hungry. What's in a name? So there is significance in the names in the novels. JoJo. JoJo is named after his paternal grandfather, Joseph. Joseph is a racist who doesn't have a relationship with his grandchildren. It can be inferred that Leonie named her first child after him in a plea to gain approval from him. She might have hoped that naming him JoJo would push Joseph to want to know his grandson. Joseph treats his son harshly as well. It's possible that Michael was hoping that JoJo's name would influence Joseph to accept JoJo and Leonie. He wanted a relationship with his father, and JoJo's name is evidence of that, although it did not work, and his dad continues to reject his son and grandchildren as well as Leonie. Kayla. Kayla's first full name is a female version of Michael, which is Michaela. Leonie refuses to call the toddler anything except for Michaela, while the rest of the family only calls her Kayla. She even goes as far as to feel frustrated and angry when they call her Kayla. Pop and JoJo's rejection of Michaela is representative of their rejection of Michael as a part of their family. Ma'am. JoJo's maternal figure is Ma'am, his grandmother. It is not a coincidence that Mom and Ma'am are only one letter apart. Unfortunately, word does not really show how Ma'am cared for her family before she got sick, but one can speculate that she was a devoted wife and mother. Pop. Pop is JoJo's paternal figure and his role model. Pop called JoJo's son multiple times, signaling that the father-son dynamic is a mutual one. Leonie and Michael are called Mom and Dad. They're not called Mom and Dad. This choice by JoJo is JoJo rejecting them as parental figures in his life. Kayla begins to call Leonie Oni, her own version of her mother's name. Even at her very young age, she already knows that Leonie is not a mom to her. JoJo is a caretaker. Throughout the novel, JoJo shows himself to be a very empathetic person and to be a natural caregiver. This is mostly with Kayla. JoJo is the main caretaker for Kayla. He's the one who looks after her, cares for her when she is sick, and makes sure she's fed and hydrated. He is the one she reaches for when she wakes up, the one she wants to be helped by when she is sick, the one she looks up for when she is tired. JoJo provides the maternal loving care to Kayla because Leonie doesn't. He takes care of JoJo while she is sick, nursing her back to health and making sure she is okay. Leonie attempts to make her better by giving her a concoction of charcoal. JoJo knows it is dangerous and makes Kayla vomit to get it out of her system, saving her life. He also shows himself as a caretaker when he comforts Pop when he talks about Richie. Jojo holds Pop the same way he holds Kayla as he talks about Richie. Pop cries in Jojo's arms, much like Kayla has done many times before. At the end of the novel, their dynamic is opposite what it is in the beginning. In the beginning, Pop is taking care of Jojo, and at the end, Jojo is taking care of Pop. Leonie is neglectful. Leonie is controlled by her trauma and grief from losing her brother Gibbon. One way this manifests is her jealousy of Kayla, that she still has her brother. Her defense is distancing herself from her kids and engaging in drug use. She is preoccupied with other things such as work, Michael, and drugs. She spends a lot of time at work. When she is with her kids, she is disinterested. Her love and attention are with Michael. Her children are but an afterthought. This is shown when she finds out he is getting out of prison. Her first point of contact is her coworker, who she calls to get extra stiffs, as opposed to her kids or even her parents. She doesn't even consider telling her family, not even her kids. She hopes her kids will connect her to Michael more than she already is. The irony is that Jojo and Kayla drive a wedge between Leonie and Michael. Not for them, the couple could be living their dream of having their own house in California. They also disagree over Kayla. Michael, trying to be a caring father for the first time, points out that Kayla is still sick, while Leonie insists she is fine. Leonie really didn't want to be a mom. Michael is a father, or lack thereof. Michael spends most of Jojo's life and all of Kayla's life up until this point in Parchment Prison. Having an imprisoned parent can negatively affect a child. Possible effects included, but are not limited to, poor health, ADHD and ADD, behavioral problems, anxiety, and developmental delays. When Michael is released and meets his kids, they're strangers. However, Jojo already knows that it is highly unlikely that Michael will step up and be the parent he needs. At first, he tries to care for Jojo and Kayla. He quickly grows frustrated and impatient. He loses his tempers when he is not quickly embraced by Kayla. He tries to make breakfast for the kids, which is more than the readers ever see Leonie do for them. He burns the bacon, and Kayla gets upset, and Michael doesn't have the capabilities to handle the situation. Jojo steps in and calms her down, as the reader has seen him do many times. Toward the end, the reader sees Michael as disinterested in his children as Leonie is. So my conclusion is that Jojo has the odds stacked against him. His mother is a drug addict, and his father spent most of his formative years in prison. Both seem uninterested in parenting at all. His grandmother passed away from cancer, and he must take care of his younger sister. The statistics suggest he is destined for depression, among a myriad of other issues. However, he proves himself to be resilient. One way he does this is through the love of his family. He is devoted to Kayla and pours most, if not all, of his energy into caring for her. He also channels his caring nature to his grandfather. When Pop talks about Richie, Jojo picks him on how hard it is for him emotionally. He picks up on how hard it is for him emotionally. He steps up for Pop to lean on him in this moment. Jojo is fiercely resilient in the face of Leonie's increasing drug dependence. One author argues. She cites his deep love for Kayla to back up her claim. Jojo, the central character of the novel, shows himself to be a resilient young man who's capable of stepping up when times are tough. He proves himself emotionally intelligent and attentive, despite neglectful parents.